Wow. Welcome to Mighty Morphin Millennial Rangers. I'm Rick.
I'm Eric.
And what we're doing is we're going to cover every single episode of Power Rangers the best way we know how, which is generally to roast it.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, man. I was like, oh, man, I remember this being awesome. But anyway, continue.
What now?
I remember just when I was watching being like, I remember how fucking cool this was when I first watched it.
Yeah, now it's not so cool. It's still pretty cool. Like, people are going to think I'm not... When I roast things, I roast that which I love.
Right on.
And I've seen them a lot of times. And it's one of those things where I had all the toys as a kid. Like, and I had a bunch of merch in general, and then I kind of got rid of it. And I refused to go out and buy it again like some people do to get their collections back up.
Yeah.
But when you have everything, once is enough. I do have a White Ranger Zord, though, still. The Tiger Zord.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Oh, damn.
It's pretty cool. So, this is how the thing's going to go. Basically, what we're going to do is every episode, we'll give you the name of the episode, written by, directed by, and I got some fun facts from behind the scenes and what people were doing, and then we'll just kind of get into it.
So basically, Rick did a bunch of research, and I'm just going to make backhanded comments.
Which, honestly...
Because I recorded myself watching the episode just so I would remember. And I'm like, oh, damn, we should just start posting this so people can sync up the audio and just watch the fucking the fucking episodes with my retarded-ass commentary on it.
We're going to do Mystery Science Theater 3000, but with Power Rangers.
Right.
We do that for live shows. I've seen it before.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Down the road. So, we start off. This is Day of the Dumpster, which is everybody's life ever since 2020, in my opinion. It's written by Tony Oliver and Shuki Levy. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly, which I'm probably not. But Tony Oliver, actually, he's wild, and he's one of the ones that does a bunch of voiceovers for the Funimations and stuff like that. But he's done everything from... He was actually the voice of Saba.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of wild, and he still is. There's one of the rides someplace that still features him. Oh. They still record his voice for that. And he was part of Robotech. He was Rick Hunter, and he's also he's Naruto's dad in Naruto.
Oh, I've never seen an episode of that show, but I feel you.
For people who know, Naruto's dad. And Shuki Levy's actually the most thing that I found to be the most intriguing, because he's actually a composer, which is wild that he's got a writing credit on this one. So well-rounded. Pretty sure you've heard of at least a few of the things he's done. Everything from... Now, I don't know if he just was part of the composing, so he's helped compose these. The Real Ghostbusters, Inspector Gadget, the He-Man theme, VR Troopers, Big Bad Beetleborgs, Digimon, which still slaps. And he's also...
He wrote the music for?
He composed the actual
Beetleborg. You said, okay, Beetleborgs. Yeah. Big Bad. I remember that. Yeah, the one you said VR Troopers?
Yeah.
That was,
we are VR. Yeah. All jams.
Yeah, indeed.
And then I sent you a link with that too, but it's basic. He was in a band that there's some wild stuff that's in there. Like nothing you would ever think of somebody who has a writing credit on Power Rangers thing to do. So, and I'm old school. I've actually written real notes. So if you hear page turning, that's what's happening.
It's better than my notes for our other podcast that I drew boobs on.
Yeah. And it's actually directed by Adrian Carr. And I don't have any information for him only because I didn't want to give anybody incorrect information. And everything I've seen on him, he's not listing that he is actually a director on a Power Rangers episode. So I don't want to I'm not going to try and blow up that spot or whatever, but it's literally on the Netflix thing. I've seen it on more of the thing. He's credited, but I don't want to say it could be a different person with the same name. However, then there's a bunch of other different stuff on here that I have. First off, Rita in this season. Everybody knows who Rita is at this point. The witch. There. She's actually played by Michiko... I'm going to say this wrong. Michiko Saga. And she actually died on May 7th, 2006. R.I.P. Yeah, honestly, a true queen. And then we have Goldar. They switch his voice in there, and I've got to get more information on that. But the one that I do have...
episode?
No, so from season 1, he
Something,
changes
yeah.
voices.
Yeah.
The one voice I do have on here is... I actually didn't write his name down, did I? No, I didn't. We'll cut that part out. But the original, that's the reason why I didn't write it down, because he's done... the original one was... He's actually an Angel, an episode of Angel, Halo 2, Bebe's Kids, Kiki's Delivery Service. He's in everything. Kids. But I didn't write it down because I saw 2 names and I didn't want to give off incorrect information.
Oh.
Babu only does one other thing. Like, he basically does all the dubs of anime. He has like 100 different dubs to his credit. And that guy is Dave Mallow. Squat's real name is Michael Sorich.
Is that the little blueberry looking dude? Oh, okay.
We'll get there. When they introduce them, you'll understand who they all are. And Finster is actually Robert Axelrod. Axelrod? When I mispronounce things. But he's a bunch of just different stuff like that too. The biggest thing for that is Armadillomon from the Digimon series is that I was reading. So just some food for fun. We're going to get the nonsense part out of the way first. And now, this is going to be the fun part. And if you're ready, this is where you're going to put the intro in. Money more from Millennial Rangers.
Mighty Morphing Millennial
All right, so episode 1, Day of the Dumpster. We open with a cardboard spaceship landing on a planet.
I didn't even pay that close attention. The first thing I fucking said to myself was like, of course it's fucking white people that went and ran up to open this fucking thing. They're like, oh look, it's a random thing. And we have tinfoil people that are on the moon. And why my first note is here, why are we opening just something random we found on the moon? White people.
It's true. And then, of course, we open that up, and then we get our first look at Rita's crew, which we have Goldar, which is a flying monkey Digimon. I don't know any other way to explain him. Babu, who is a gay, furry vampire butler, in my opinion.
Okay.
We have Squat, who is Hellboy's girl's side piece. And we have Finster, who is part falcon, part white dog turd. Because he's very white.
I can see Finster on the cast of, what is that? Where that whole group of gay people change people's lives.
Yeah. The Queer Eye?
Yes! Finster on Queer Eye would fit
Dear
in.
me, we're going to change everything with our monsters.
Let me make you some furniture.
Yes, my queen. That was good. TM me. Maybe I'll work in, anyway, moving on. So literally the first thing Rita says is, welcome to my coming out party, which means solidified. Rita's a drag queen. And I will take nothing more for this. And honestly, what she does for her coming out party is wants to destroy the nearest planet, which honestly sounds like a great time. Like, I already want to hang out with these people. And we get and then, hard cut. Ernie's Juice Bar. Think of electric colors and 90s nostalgia.
I remember being a kid, and I said this in my commentary, like, going to the Boys and Girls Club when I was a kid, thinking, like, it's just going to be like the fucking Angel Grove. Fucking, nope. I'm like, damn, real life is disappointing. And that's where it all started.
Power Rangers, they set us up too high. And then, okay, then we get our first look at the gang. We have Zach and Jason, who are like spar fighting in the juice bar, and then we have Trini doing some weird kung fu shit.
I said, yeah, during Zach and Jason's thing, and he fucking punches him in the rib. I went, thanks for punching me in the ribs, friend, because he hits him in the ribs and then laughs. Yeah, man.
It's a very Mentos commercial. And then we have Kimberly doing gymnastics, because that's her thing.
when she jumps off of that fucking balance beam, it's on the dead ass fucking hard floor. No mat. If that was real, her fucking feet would have been fucked. Her ankles would have been something, but
right?
That shit would have hurt regardless. It's just like on the hard floor, and I'm like, that. I don't know how I randomly noticed that. And she's like, yeah,
that's just it's part of her powers, man.
Just laying on hard surfaces.
Yeah, that's what she's good at. And then we have Billy, which by 90s standards, he's got glasses, so he's a nerd.
I forgot that Billy used to be a bitch.
Yeah.
And then at some point he lost his virginity and then started to learn how to fight.
Which is wild. We'll get to that in the episodes down the road. But it's definitely to an old man. Which... Well, we'll get into that down the road. So, Billy wants to learn how to defend himself, so he takes this class with Jason. And Bulk and Skull are introduced for the first time after that.
Underrated.
Huh?
I think Bulk and Skull are underrated.
Underrated? I said on here in my notes that I look younger than Bulk and Skull now. I do now than they did then.
Yeah.
So
I still think they're underrated for like physical, like slapstick comedy.
100%. Yeah. But they look like they're 30 and they're in with a bunch of these high school kids. It doesn't fit. But again, it was the 90s.
Although I will detest, I worked with a kid one time that told me, he was like, I'm glad they dropped the age to 16. I can work here. And I'm like, you're 16? He was a big boy. Oh. I'm like, motherfucker, you're 40. There ain't no way you're fucking 16. So, I mean, you can be thrown off. You can get thrown off.
All right. And after that, so all of them kind of convene and they're like, oh, good job, buddy. You're doing great with Billy. How are they friends?
You skipped over the attempted assault.
There's an attempted assault?
Remember when they're trying to hit on Trini and Kimberly, and they're like, what about those double dates? And then Zach walks up, and she's like, we can handle this. And they're like, let's show them some karate moves. And they fucking charge both the women. And as soon as they did that, I'm like, that's attempted assault. I'm like, they would have been canceled immediately if it was on TV right now. And then they hit him with the fucking karate, ka-chow, and give him a flip, and they fucking,
That's why they go to the thing. Okay. Regardless, I don't understand how they're all friends. Like, back in the day when we were in school, those group of people don't become friends.
Yeah. Everybody was in a different spot.
Right. But, who knows?
Shout out, free call.
Yes. TM. And then, we're back at the moon. And we have Rita being a creeper with the spyglass looking down, doing her...
So where do they get the castle from?
It just happens. Just 'cause.
Was it down there underground too, maybe?
Just 'cause.
Is that the secret space station they have on the moon?
It could be.
It's just Rita Repulsa's castle.
And her teeth look great for being locked up for 10,000 years. Like, you can't imagine there's a dentist in there, and she's just got perfect pearly whites.
Although Home did try to get her a mint at the very beginning.
You're right. I mean, come on.
He went morning breath and tried to get her a mint.
I mean, come on. You're stuck in that thing for how long? 10,000 years? There haven't even been 10,000 years. Kidding. It's flat earth stuff. And then we cut back, and Jason's trying to teach a class, and he's using words like barbecue and barbacoa.
What?
I don't know what he's saying. Like, he's saying something in a different language, but he's like, parkour.
Oh.
Jungbin.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
I mean, if it was barbacoa, I would have known.
Well, right. You're right. And then I put on here, Bulk does a flying corkscrew elbow trying to do a tornado kick.
Yeah. Which I said, when he did the first side kick, and Bulk threw that side kick, I'm like, he can move for a big fella. He was like, his leg got up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he had to sell it for the whatever he had to do. Spin kick.
Yeah. But as soon as that was over, we're back to them just hanging out at a table again. It's another drastic jump cut.
Yeah.
Power Rangers is really good for. And then we have Ernie comes up and he's like, who ordered the spinach juice? And I'm like, then even the earth itself rejected that because there's an earthquake. Because no one wants spinach juice. And then we're introduced to Zordon and Alpha for the first time, which I put to best describe Zordon. He is Daddy Zordon. He's a sea monkey with a face.
Billy fucking blew his load as soon as he walked into this station too.
We're not there yet.
In the episode.
We're getting there. Yeah, he did, yes. And then I put on here, Alpha's lightning bolt that he's on his chest is cooler than the Flash's, and I stand by that. because it's real and light up. Anyway. So Zordon wants, and I've even wrote it down distinctively here, so we can put this on here. 5 overbearing and over-emotional humans.
I went, the world's going to show up? The whole world's going to show up.
That's everybody at this point. Like, there's grown-ass adults that would show up.
Fucking call on me to be a Power Ranger Zordon. I am ready.
Like, there'd be Karens. They want to talk to Rita's manager, whoever that is. We haven't found that out yet. So after a Star Fox transition, we have all the crew teleported to the command center for the first time. And then they just walk up to a robot. Why would you do that?
No, didn't he fall out first?
No.
Alpha fell down?
Yeah, and then they just walk right up to him, though.
It was
like,
Billy that went and picked him up.
This robot. Why? Why are we doing this?
I don't know.
All right, so basically Zordon wants to be their sugar daddy and give them powers. They show, and then after that, they look into the orb.
The viewing globe?
The viewing globe. And it shows Rita literally, like, tweaking
the bike?
away. Yeah, with the bike.
The bike shit's so great.
I don't know the aerodynamics of a bike, but apparently she makes it work. And it's in the sky, so that's fun. And then they get their morphers. All right. Here's the thing. I've actually wrote it down, everything that they say, so that way you can be all nostalgic with me. Jason, you are bold, powerful, and allegedly avoiding taxes. You will be the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Zach, you are clever and brave, and honestly the best and well-rounded character in Power Rangers. Kimberly, graceful, smart, and every dude's first crush.
Yes, indeed.
Billy, you are patient, wise, and a gay icon now. Trini, fearless and agile, and honestly, just R.I.P.
Right.
Honestly.
Right.
And that's it. Did I forget to give one? No, that's all of them.
Oh, that's all.
And then Zach speaks for all of us when he goes, peace out, and they leave.
Right.
Because honestly, mood.
Right.
There's no way I'm staying there.
Right.
And then the outside of I put that here, the outside of the communication center just looks like a terrarium.
How are we going to walk back? Like, aren't they in the middle of the fucking desert?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're just going to walk back to town. Like, they're going to end up like Beavis and Butthead and fucking crawling through the sand.
The sun sucks.
Going on a fucking Rob Zombie trip.
But don't worry, because now putties are going to show up, which are nothing more than Rita's old sex slaves, in my opinion. So the Rangers get their asses beat, basically, and then Jason remembers, hey, we got magic belt buckles here that gives us powers. And then we get the very first, it's morphin' time! And I put on here, it's iconic, honestly, because that was the first time you're like, holy shit, something crazy's happening.
Right.
And then suddenly we are teleported out of nowhere as soon as they morphed to the city where the sex slaves and Goldar are fighting something. And then somehow Goldar is 10 feet tall and he's shooting shit down at him. And then I guess they did this with Rita's wand somehow.
To what, make them grow?
Yeah.
She does. That was every episode.
I know, but I just don't understand the mechanics of it. It throws down, there's a little lightning bolt thing that happens, and then there's like a hole that digs, and then somehow that makes a monster grow.
It's fucking magic, man.
Oh, touche. And then we get our first Dragon Zord.
Well,
we need dinosaur power now.
I think I need to make mention about the posing.
Do it up.
When they fucking transform, dude, the pose is classic as fuck. And then all it makes me think about is fucking the dudes from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah, the Ginyu Force.
When they're fucking posed out like that. Now, one thing I also thought had brought up was I'm curious what the fuck they're actually saying in the actual Japanese episodes of those. Fucking...
I wanted to look up the Sentai stuff. I don't have it in me. There's a lot of Sentai stuff.
Yeah, I know. I think some of it's on Tubi.
A lot of it is.
And I'm like super like curious of what they're actually are saying in those chunks of the episode. Also, I wish they would have done better, like trying to make the American footage shot putties look the same as the ones from they're fucking completely different.
Completely different.
The Japanese ones look so much better.
100%.
And yeah. But anyway, back to they call the Zords.
Yep, we get the first time there. And then we see the kids somehow just know how to pilot these things.
Billy says that.
Yeah.
He's like, It's like second nature. I don't know how I'm knowing this.
No one knows. And then we get a giant robot and a kaiju fight. Which, if you notice, 1 second, kaiju fight is in the city, and then somehow they're just in the country.
I think Goldar's kind of underrated too.
Goldar's an MVP.
And we'll get into it more when Rita's brother shows up.
Yeah.
And then those two are
Rito Repulso.
Yeah. So, but I think that's going to be one of the next figures I look for is going to be a Goldar.
That's solid.
Yeah.
So then they summon out of nowhere. They're actually getting their ass beat, and then somehow Jason just knows he has a sword that he can summon with this thing. So he's like, power sword! And then I don't want to know where the power sword comes from, but it comes from the sky. That's it. And then Goldar's like, yo, he's got a sword? Fuck this. And pieces out, even though he's had a sword the whole time.
Right.
And then Rita needs an Excedrin because she's always got a headache.
She does always have a headache. I enjoy when they do the fight scenes and all the fucking punches or explosions.
Oh, yeah, that's solid, too.
We
didn't get a whole lot in the first episode, though.
And when Goldar was slashing the fuck out of the Megazord for a bit, there's a few spots where it fucking blows up, but...
It's kind of like in AEW when they did that kick recently.
Oh, yeah, the exploding shoe.
Yeah.
But I think later on in the episodes, they ends up with the Power Rangers that happens, they get hit, and all of a sudden they're fucking...
That's even when they drag swords around them, they'll just...
Yeah.
Yeah. And they switch to that one, like, B-roll of them falling down a hill.
Yeah.
All right, so after that, Zordon lays down the law, guys. Are we ready to, if you want to take the oath with us and be Power Rangers? 1, you can never use the power for personal gain. 2, you can never escalate a battle unless Rita starts it, which I think is bullshit. Get it over and done with, go to the moon. The end. 3, you always have to keep your identity secret, which everybody fucking loves them in this universe. Right. I don't see why they couldn't just say who they were, but... And then I put trauma bonding and child labor, Power Rangers. And then at the very end, they're like, oh, you could... Kim's like, I don't know if it's for me. My hair is going to get messed up in this, which is honestly a mood. Yeah. And then they pull the classic 90s. Not! Because Kim is Borat. Before Borat was Borat.
Very nice.
My wife. And then we have the standard 90s jump, freeze in the air, high five. And then we say executive computer, Haim Saban.
Yeah.
And we roll the credits. And that is the very first episode of Power Rangers. Now, with our show, we actually go through, at the end of it, we're going to give the Repulsa report, where we're going to actually rate our villain of the episode from 1 to 5. We're going to rate the episode, and we're going to give just final thoughts on everything that we got going on here. So, Repulsa report, I mean, what do we got? We have Goldar and the sex slaves.
Yeah.
2 stars.
I would say first episode, you're getting introduced to these things.
Maybe 3. 2, 3.
Yeah. I'd say like a 3.5. Just because, I mean, I was watching, I'm like, oh man, I remember how dope it was. And still the Japanese shit's fucking fire.
You're right.
And
although I just ruined it, the fact that I call putty sex slaves. Now I'm all going to picture as Mr. Slave from South Park. You know what? That went up to 3. It's for sure 3. Sex slaves win.
When do they get the shields?
Shields.
The putties get shields after.
Oh, that's Zed.
Okay.
Yeah, the Zed. You hit to him in the Z.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And then, all right, we're going to rate the actual overall episode, but the way we're going to rate episodes on here is, if you've paid attention, it's Mastodon, Pterodactyl, Triceratops, Saber-toothed Tiger, and Tyrannosaurus Rex. Tyrannosaurus Rex being 5-star, Mastodon being 1-star. I'll give this, honestly, I think I originally said Pterodactyl 2-star. I'm going to give it a Triceratops. It's a solid 3.
I'll agree with that.
Solid Triceratops?
Yeah. It's a good intro. It's corny as fuck, but it's all corny as fuck. Still now.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I mean, we've watched movies where sharks are in cornfields, so
right.
And we love that. So we still love this show. And I guess the final thoughts is I was fucking hyped about this show for the longest time. Like when you would get, I think it was Saturday morning. It was on Fox Kids for us.
And then it used to be every morning, like, because I remember my dad
for 3 episodes.
I remember my dad waking me up for school, and like
Yeah.
that's like first thing in the morning. I'd fall back asleep on the couch. He ended up fucking getting sucked in the pot. He just sit there and watch it, well, because it was on.
And it's such a huge chunk of childhood. Like I remember, like 3rd through 5th grade, just watching the show. And
I used to literally try to get my parents to give me nothing but green clothing. So after the Green Ranger came out,
yeah, we haven't got to Tommy yet.
I know that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, we don't have too long to get there. To be honest with you, I want to say he's in episode 10 or 13.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, but we're gonna do this the whole way through, guys. So, if you want to stick with us, we're gonna do this, but better probably because this is our first episode of this. We're gonna get, pieces down for it, but maybe we'll have Eric cover an episode, and I'll just be color commentator next time. Maybe we'll give him the entire Green Ranger series.
Oh man, that's a lot of work.
I'll just do the research for you. It'll be fine. But we do want to get some. There's rumors down the road if we can do well enough with this, I can get some pretty big people to actually be on the show with us, which would be super rad. We're going to have to learn how to record on
Discord.
Well, either Discord or what's the other thing everybody uses? And I've already forgot about the video chatting service.
Zoom?
Yeah. I already forgot about Zoom.
Oh.
I wasn't.
That's easy to do.
Now we're just recording our own notes now. So we're probably going to cut all this part up at the end. But we thank you so much for tuning into the first episode of... Rewind. First episode of Mighty Morphin Millennial Rangers with Rick and Eric. Hopefully you liked it. It's Morphing time.